Was it hard going to see shows during this festive holiday season? Tom Stoppard's The Hard Problem is his usual brainy play, this time cloaked in a soap opera. It focuses on brain consciousness and what matters, egoism or altruism. It was a competent cast, but it was hard for me to understand all the components. So here's the basic plot. Hillary is hoping to work at the esteemed Kroll Institute for Brain Science. She has a university tutor, Spike, who disagrees with her fundamental approach that people have the ability to be altruistic. Spike thinks that when people are being good, it is for their own ego. While all the technical arguments were literally above my head, you know, because my brain is here, I was still able to get a chuckle or two over the character's earnestness. Now, soap operas, I understand. Everyone seems to fall in love with Hillary for some reason. She has a secret from her past that Spike doesn't know, and it causes her to pray every night, which annoys him. Which Mark...
I could relate to that.
Yes, he could. So if you enjoy Stoppard, which I do, you will probably get a little bit of pleasure out of this. However, don't expect to understand all of it, despite the efforts of the cast, who are all quite good. In fact, you can Wikipedia The Hard Problem to figure out what the title means, because at the end of the play, I'm like asking, what is the hard problem? It was not clear in the play itself. And Jack O'Brien's staging of the ensemble was cool because they were all dressed in gray, like they were gray matter, and it was all very silent, but every now and then they have an expression that kind of, you know, put a new meaning on the scene, so that was kind of cool. So the hard problem is that this play is hard to comprehend because some of the scenes do not contribute to the plot or character development. So I'll give it a mixed face plus because I just can't give an unhappy face to Stoppard. I like him too much.
We saw Promethean Fire's presentation, Shake and Bake Love's Labor's Lost, which is the Shakespearean comedy with an 8-course tasting menu. The story involves a group of 3 men who swear off women, food, and sleep for 3 years. And one of them is the King of Navarre and its 2 cohorts. And then a woman, the Princess of France, comes on orders of her father, and she and her ladies are put off when they're put out.
The ladies in waiting are kept waiting.
Yeah, they're not allowed into the castle. They have to camp on the ground. Because
they're students and they're supposed to be studying, so they think, oh, we'll forswear all this for 3 years and we'll just be good students. But of course, the minute a lovely lady catches their eye, all bets are off.
Yeah, it's a typical rom-com, actually. The women, because they're so pissed off that they were kept out of the castle, even though they're attracted to the guys, they're going to give them a hard time. It's very cute how the kitchen stuff relates to the play. We had a salad of field greens when the ladies were put out to the field.
And we've had Cheeto encrusted macaroni and cheese. You'll have to see how Cheetos relates to a Shakespearean play. But this was so much fun. The food was delightful. The alcohol, my God, kept coming and coming.
It was more than enough to float my boat.
So this is a fun thing. You're in comfortable chairs. You interact with them all the time. It's just so much fun. This is how Shakespeare should be. And it's a play we never get to see.
I thought the food was better than the Shakespeare. But I'm still giving it a happy face minus because I did enjoy the experience.
Oh, you curmudgeon. I'm giving it a complete happy face. It's time to talk about Feinstein's 54 Below. Lottie Ballinger's been going quite a bit lately. I went once, like I told you last time I saw ABBA there. So this is what Lottie has to say. 54 Below surely is the place to be if you want an evening to be a bit more intimate than the typical Broadway theater outing. It's always incredible and generally eclectic. Recently, professional ingenue Sierra Boggess delighted us with her soaring soprano. She made quite a case of her comedic flair with some anecdotes about the aborted French production of The Phantom of the Opera, as well as her performing for the Queen of England through a lovely rendition of If My Friends Could See Me Now from Sweet Charity. But she still did not forget the emotion. She spoke and sung about her star-making run in The Little Mermaid and about her sister who accompanied her that night and their family history. It was a lovely performance. Excuse me. Broadway-bound Joe Iconis and George Salazar delighted us with the lively two-player game, making us more excited for Be More Chill, which is set to open this spring at the Lyceum. But while the unforgettable Michael in the Bathroom was performed, we were also lucky to hear from many numbers from other iconic shows, and some that got the axe before even becoming shows, like the opening to a never-coming The 40-Year-Old Virgin musical. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
It's all incredibly energetic and youthful evening that we'll be sure to remember. Andy Mientus gave us a very different evening, dragging his audience back to the hippie days by singing through Joni Mitchell's Songs of the Canyon. A pretty straightforward concert, rather than a cabaret performance, but still quite the experience, all in the mood of these days and some wonderful time traveling. For the holidays, we could also be treated to an evening full of Christmas cheer and ugly sweaters by the ever-so-talented Matt Doyle. Old-time favorites and his own personal ones filled the room with warmth and had us all forget everything dreadful to drown in some lovely music. Each evening at 54 is different, and each offers wonders, truly, so make sure to give the place a chance. If a name catches your eye, or even if you have no clue who will be there tonight, for performances are always up to par, and I couldn't agree with her more. And with New Year's Eve coming up, and Michael Feinstein's there, and Cheetah Rivera's there, and Andrea McCardle, and Don McKechnie, I mean, my goodness. Just go to the calendar and see what's going on. Well, I get me some water.
Our own Jan Ewing has a show on the boards in January on the 14th, the 16th, and the 19th called Nursery Rhymes. And what does the title mean?
Nursery Rhymes is a play about older women in pregnancy. It's a subject that I think is probably going to be universally popular, and it's even more popular now than it used to be. I think you know, it's women are waiting longer and longer to have.
Well, certainly Eva.
Yes.
And most women I know, because they want to get their lives going in a good way before they have the kids.
But they've always got this problem that they have to deal with, don't they? And you know, this is about a younger couple who she wants to have a baby, he doesn't. And so she invites an older couple over who have had an older child. They're 10 years, they're about 50. And they talk to convince her husband that they should have a baby. And it's very funny. Everyone laughs a lot. And it's supposed to be funny. And we've got a great deal of hope for it. The actors are really, really cool. And pretty. They're all pretty. Because everybody's young now, you know. Sorry.
Well, I heard that you cast it in a new way for you, that you were using the internet.
Well,
how did that go?
It's certainly very interesting. Yes, you know, back in the day when I was in the theater, why they'd have an open call, and you'd stand in clumps around the corner out in the rain, and you'd wait, and you know, hours and hours and hours. You know, in this case, why I went up on backstage and I put up a notice. I got 260 responses, and I looked at all of their clips, their film clips, and then I went on Skype and Facebook and talked to them all without ever having to go out. I had coffee and hot chocolate. And, you know, and it was really very good. And then, so I interviewed them all and then got them together in groups for a face-to-face reading. And it was so efficient. Really, that's a good thing about the internet, I think.
And this is Winterfest, right?
This is Winterfest 2019 at the Hudson Guild Theater in January. We are opening on the 14th. We're going to be three times, and it's a play competition. So everybody come and vote for us. And you know, it's going to be 9 o'clock on the 14th and the 16th, and at 6 o'clock on the 19th. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Once again, let's see the poster.
Yeah, and the ticket's right down here at the bottom. You can see it at all.
And I'm definitely interested in this.
Yeah. I have had so many people, so many women say that to me, and you know, a remarkable number say, that's my story, you know, and so it's obviously an important subject.
Sure.
Yeah. Is that it?
Amy Heckerling's taken her highly successful movie Clueless and turned it into an extremely entertaining musical, plundering 90s music to speed the plot along. Beverly Hills will never be the same with Cher transforming people around her, and it's got the most perfect cast. Cher is your happy-go-lucky, not a care in the world teenager living the best of all possible times. Her scary dad is a famously successful litigator. Since money isn't an issue, she can shop to her heart's content along with her bestie Dion, who provides the kids in the high school a lot of entertainment with her constant bickering with her boyfriends. They're always over the top shrieking at each other. And she's inherited her dad's litigating abilities to, get her grades up. And when her debate teacher decides that she should get a C, oh, no, you are not going to give Cher a C. So what she does is pulls a Jane Austen Emma, and she gets her teacher to fall in love with another teacher, and then everyone gets A's all the time, and everyone's happy. And now she's become a Dolly Levi. She's decided she has to be a Yenta and transform everybody around her and make everybody in love with whoever she thinks they should be in love with. She takes this new kid who's like a stoner and would have been much happier with Travis, but instead she wants him to be with the popular Elton. And then she falls in love with this guy Christian, who seems like a very cool kid. And the thing is this, will all her interfering with people's lives be triumphant? What about her own life? What about all the somber issues of the day? Is she clueless? I was chortling from beginning to end. Normally I couldn't care less about rich people, no matter what their age, but Cher is just such a positive personality. She is solicitous of her dad, likes to make over people's lives to make them happy, and doesn't have a mean bone in her svelte body. And the music, it's a Barbie world, just for an example. That'll give you a clue. The clothes were outrageous, with the over the knee stockings and the cute little mini skirts. It was just, and the choreography, everything about this from beginning to end. This was a fun high school musical story.
So we saw Mean Girls on Broadway, book by Tina Fey, music by Jeff Richmond, lyrics by Nell Benjamin, and this is basically a story about a girl who moves from Africa to, I believe it's Wisconsin, the Midwest really, and she has to try to get along with this new clique of Mean Girls, as the play title suggests. The actors were really good, the songs were really good. I love the movie. I think it's such a funny movie. Of course, Tina Fey did the movie as well. She wrote it.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
I'm sorry. I just gave up.
You like the villains a lot. I remember you said that.
Yeah, I like the villains. I don't know. I don't.
Anyway, well, it's because in Clueless also she takes over a new girl and makes her over. So they take her, what's the main character's name?
Main character is Katie.
Katie
Heron.
Katie Heron. They take over Katie Heron and try try to turn her into extension of themselves.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, it's like, what happens? It's like an all about Eve situation where. In the fact that she was at the bottom of the totem pole and she was new and everything, but then her popularity soon she goes against the popular girls and because they're trying to turn her into something she's not.
Right.
And
she takes over the place of, well, I don't want to give too much away, but
right.
Basically she just skyrockets and does her best to fit in by basically equivalating, making the equivalent of Africa, where she was raised, to the high school life, and that's a lot of what it is.
Yeah, the animals, how they are. And I've got to say that Kate Rockwell, as a stupid one,
as Karen.
Oh my God, I loved her. She was brilliant.
She was so good.
And poor Ashley Park was trying so hard to be Fetch.
Oh yeah, of course. And I think the cool thing is that for fans of the movie, Karen is kind of a side character, but in this one she has a spotlight, she's a solo, she's really right there. Damien is another guy who's awesome in the movie and even better in the musical. They did a really good job with Regina George, who is the queen bee of the high school, and she makes a really good villain. The music is awesome.
And Janice is played by Barrett Wilbert Weed,
Yeah,
who was in another High School Musical.
Heathers,
exactly.
She played the...
Yeah, the music, it complements the story. This is just fun. I mean, not just for high school or people
Not
who
just
love
for
the
high
movie.
school, for everybody.
Yeah, because I don't know the movie or anything about it.
I think an important thing is that it doesn't go exactly as the movie. It's its own thing, which is really fun. But if you're just a fan of the movie, don't go into the show expecting it just to be the movie.
But there was this one line where the audience erupted. I didn't know the significance of the line. I don't remember the line, but I remember the audience did get excited by this one line.
I'm sure. When I went, it was every line that was from the movie. People went crazy.
Yeah. This was his birthday present too.
I loved it.
Because I knew he would.
I know I was so flustered in the beginning, but it really is a great musical. There's a lot of music that it's just fun to sing along to.
A while ago, Alfie and I went to the 15th year anniversary celebration of Avenue Q. And it was so cool. What they did was they snuck in original members to sing their signature song. So when we were there, we got Stephanie D'Abruzzo singing "There's a Fine, Fine Line." And the cast that's there right now are just as wonderful as the original cast, or probably the previous cast, because a lot of people have been doing this for 15 years. And it's just as fresh and delightful and funny as ever. And I mean, and it's still so true. I mean, everyone's a little bit racist now is like scary true, because it's not funny racist, now it's scary racist. And of course the internet is for porn. It's, you know, that's just in stone. That's just a given.
Yeah, you
can attest to that.
Hey, come on. I know, of course, I knew a bunch of the songs before I saw it, but I didn't really know the story. So seeing it for the first time, especially since it's been 15 years, you know, I was there, 9 years old or 6 years old when she first saw it, and I remember saying, I want to see it, thinking it's puppets, I want to go, and I had no idea just it was how raunchy it was.
And I couldn't go. I said, this is not Sesame Street.
Yeah.
It's very, I mean, they have puppet sex on stage, so no.
Which is still pretty tame compared to Hand to God.
Yeah.
But it was still really funny.
Oh, very
and
tame.
the songs are so catchy, everyone knows. And it was fun to see Stephanie what's her name?
D'Abruzzo, yeah.
D'Abruzzo, yeah. She was really good.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously she made the thing. So.
And also she got a Theater World Award. Her and John Tartaglio. You know, when you were little, you got to see all the John Tartaglio stuff. That was not Avenue Q. And you waited 15 years to see this.
And it was awesome. It's still awesome. It still holds true today. It's not outdated at all.
Unfortunately, it is finally coming to an end.
Oh, wow, really?
They announced, I think, in April that it is coming to an end. Which
that's a shame.
But maybe they'll change their mind again, because it stopped on Broadway.
By popular demand. Yeah. Bring it back.
Or maybe it'll go from to off-Broadway.
Off-Broadway.
I mean, went from Broadway to off-Broadway. Maybe it'll go to off-Broadway. But
I can only hope it stays around.
I'm sure it will. It stays around in our hearts.
Oh, absolutely.
Mark and I saw I'm Not a Comedian, I'm Lenny Bruce. Ronnie Marmo's I'm Not a Comedian, I'm Lenny Bruce examines the life of the cool cat who annoyed the squares in the 50s and 60s and is most famous now for being arrested on obscenity charge. Although many of his bits are quite funny, much of what Lenny Bruce presented was not funny. He viewed himself as a doctor taking a scalp to our sick society by exposing his hypocrisies. Like Lenny, Marmo is unafraid of seeming ugly and not funny. He's a fine actor with a fine story to tell. These days, when truth is undervalued and hypocrites have more and more political power, a show about Lenny Bruce's struggles to oppose the lies and oppression is refreshing and most welcome, and we both give this a happy face, and I'll have more on Facebook for me. And now for more excerpts from BroadwayCon 2018, and we have panels from Evan Hansen, Spongebob SquarePants, Laura Benanti, Broadway Blizzard. We talk to people on the phone. It's a lot of fun.
You guys first see Dear Evan Hansen. This is a hard ticket to get at first.
Yeah, it is. I saw it for the very first time this past summer, just before my audition. Ever. It's really good.
It's a pretty good show.
I saw it in D.C. many moons ago. And off-Broadway, and on Broadway. I'm a Hansen! 10,000%. I catch myself during Sea Star Savior, just like watching Danny, and like I can't stop smiling. Because not only is he killing it, and it just like sounds awesome, and but like it's just like this beautiful thing to see, and to like feel the energy coming back. There's something really surreal about it. Yeah, it feels super special.
Brian, I was just going to say, I make an entrance right after Gavin's 11 o'clock showstopper, Loser. He stops the show cold. I mean, he just like, sometimes they like standing ovation in the middle of Act 2 because of his number. But meanwhile, I'm in the pit waiting to make an entrance for the next scene, and I'm like down there waiting for like 5 minutes of applause, and I'm like, get over it. It's not that good.
Alexandra, how old are you? You're 8? What's your favorite show? I wasn't in that. You have to say something. Okay, what's your second favorite show?
In the hundreds.
I haven't heard your lesson yet. What's your third favorite show?
Come from the west.
I'm in San Diego.
So it's your matinee.
Yeah, I'm in San Diego. We're in Act 2. It's just the end of the room where it happens, so I've got at least another 2 hours before my next dance.
Has the goat behaved this whole time? Tell us about the goats.
Yes, the goats have actually been really well behaved. But they know when it's their moment and totally try to upstage everybody when they're on stage with us.
Special Tony for the goat, somebody's in the crowd is saying.
Exactly.
Both of the goats will definitely win Tony Awards.
Oh, for sure.
Gavin, do you keep your Tony in view at all times when you're on stage? You like put it on, bring it on stage with you, don't you? That's what I heard. This is the rumor that I heard, right? That it has to be always in view.
When you win a Tony, you always want to make sure that you take it wherever you can.
And make everybody else smile.
And you must take yourself very seriously.
Yes. Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations. Yes, you're on the Universal lot. This is my Will Truman dressing room behind me, and we rarely see on Saturdays, but we are doing one scene because our show on Monday is so insane that we're trying to knock some of the stuff out. So it's a rare Saturday shoot.
It's definitely mine too. I'm obsessed with it. When I went into the room, I was terrified. I was shaking. I had to wear really high heels because I thought Regina would wear really high heels, and I remember my legs were shaking. And I made Tina Fey laugh, and I thought, okay, well, if I don't get this, I feel like I won right there, right?
Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah.
A favorite song? Do you have a favorite song?
For Mean Girls, I really like a song so far that the character Damien sings. It's called Where Do You Belong? And he just kind of goes through all the different like crowds in high school, all the different cliques. It's funny.
I'm actually in LA at my home, and I've got my dorky piano. Oh, it's actually not dorky. I've got all my dorky crap around me, but the most important thing is I have my Dr. Pepper.
At New York Theater Workshop is Jeremy O'Harris's Slave Play, directed by Robert O'Hara, who seems very good and terrific at directing complicated plays. And this certainly is one of them. It's about sexual power plays and racial power plays, and basically you get 3 different variables of a black and white couple, and they're trying to reconnect and make everything better, and it's full of psychobabble, and it's very amusing, and puzzling at the same time. So I was laughing a lot, but then at the end it just kind of fell apart, and I'm not quite sure what the message was supposed to be. I'm giving it a mixed face, but I'm telling you, people were lining up around the block to see this play, so it's hit a nerve with people. More on Facebook. And now we're going to find the plays that we talked about. Remember, always go to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to get more info. I'll be seeing Fabulation on the last day, so the review will be on the Facebook page. And I totally forgot to mention how great the acting was in the slave play. I mean, when first check out Jan Ewing's play, our review, and the other Mozart is back. Anyway, as I was saying, it's always impressive when actors can be in a very confusing play and make it amusing and entertaining, and you want to watch it, even though you don't know what the heck is going on. So the acting was quite fabulous, I must say, in the slave play. And before January 11th, I'm going to be posting full panels, and so you can see how much fun it is. You find out stuff that nobody else knows in Broadway. And the Hotsy Totsy Burlesque tribute is going to do Star Wars. Jordan loves them. And both Drew, me, and Jordan love the Wonder Show. So if you've never seen them, you should go. And Origin's first Irish Festival starts up again January 9th. Yay! We love them. And the next that the National Yiddish Theater Folkspine is doing is Dear Eric. And Glory Cadigan, who used to be with High Drama, is having her play Till We Meet Again, directed by Tanya Pinkins at 14th Street Y. I just love my High Drama people. They are so accomplished. And the last play I saw with Barry, The Play That Goes Wrong, has moved to New World Stages. So you can still see it and get such a laugh out of it. And BAM has Malala there. And then comedy, Gaffigan, Milani, and Bibley. I mean, really. American Realness is at Abrams Art. Pollock, I saw that last year. It's so good, so interesting. You find out so much about Pollock and his wife. And the Exponential Festivals at the Brick. Under the Radar starts at the Public Theater. That's always wonderful plays you can see for the first time. It's really fascinating. And I love Half Straddle. And they're going to be at the Kitchen until January 12th. So check them out. And some shows we'll get to next time on January 19th, our next show, Scene Place. It's one of our favorite theater companies. They have never let us down. Some good stuff at St. Luke's. And Gloria, we'll talk about on the next show. And some shows that have closed that we talked about that you can see on the Facebook page. Parody Productions. And don't forget to pick up your performing arts inside of the cultural heartbeat of New York City. Our next show will be January 19th. And everyone have a totally happy, wonderful new year. And subscribe to us on YouTube. That way you can see the show before Saturday. And Twitter,